G'day and welcome to the Resources Roadhouse. I'm Wally. Today I'm joined by Paul Bennett, Managing Director of Medallion Metals. Now, Paul, it's been a while since we caught up, but that doesn't mean you haven't been busy. You have you've been busy since you listed in 2021 out there at your Ravensthorpe Gold project. Can you just bring us up to speed how things are going?
Yeah, thanks, Wally. Good to see you again. Well, by way of sort of backtracking to where we were in March of 2021, since that time, we've drilled 54 kilometres of combined new RC and diamond drilling. The vast majority of that has gone into the Cundip Mining Centre, which is our principal asset. That's where the mineral resources are currently estimated. So about 49,000 metres of new drilling done there. And we've grown the resource from approximately 700,000 ounces of gold to now 1.3 million ounces of gold and almost 60,000 tonnes of copper. So a significant transformation there in the scale of that asset. And it's all within 300 metres of surface, and we've got a PFS running at the moment.
Well, I suppose if you're going to put it all in one word, advancement would be the word. You're looking to advance the project, you are advancing the project, and so the future, obviously the future holds more advancement.
Yeah, that's right. So we always call ourselves an advanced gold and copper explorer with a portfolio of assets down in the southern goldfields of WA. But now that we've achieved that circa 1.6 million ounce gold equivalent mass of metal, all within 300 metres of surface, then we're at the point now where we think that's critical mass to think about moving through the developer and then the producer stage over the next 2 to 3 years. So it's all about de-risking the asset now. We still want to test the multiple opportunities that are near mine and regionally, but capital markets are tight. So our focus has really been all about de-risking those known resources.
It's probably fair to say you're at that stage where you're the duck on the water. It looks like the duck is just sitting there on the water and things are going fine, but underneath, the feet are working madly. So and that's probably a fair way of describing how the company's going at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah, look, when the drills finished up in November of 2022, then lab turnaround times were still quite extended, and it took a bit of time for those results to filter through. And then by the first quarter of 2023, they'd all made their way out into the marketplace, and we re-estimated the resource in February, took it to where it sits now. And that's been the basis for us to then run that pre-feasibility study, and it's all about demonstrating the technical and the commercial merits of the project. That there's not a lot of news flow, but the activity levels inside the business are pretty high, trying to get that work right and get it out on time in July or August. And then, we're also thinking about other aspects of the business like permitting, and all the other things that you need to do to get the project in a state where you can make that final investment decision.
All right, so you said the PFS is probably due July, August, which is just around the corner. That's not far off. So what you've seen to date, what you've been able to ascertain, does that sort of mean future work programs are already being looked at?
Indeed. So we think that the PFS is going to demonstrate that there is a multi-year open pit mining operation at Cundip. I think sometimes people think that it's predominantly an underground mine, but there's a lot of metal all within 150 metres of surface, and we're striving to commercialise as much of that as we possibly can. So that mine plan is going to be predominantly open pit in the initial stages of the project life, and then it'll transition to underground where the lodes are open at depth and continue on there. And then in addition to that, we think there's real opportunities to grow the resource, and there'll be a 7 to 8 year mine life outlined in the study, but there's plenty of opportunities to extend beyond that. And there's the extensions to the known lodes. They're the lowest risk, the lowest hanging fruit, if you like. And then there's the potential to discover new lodes, all within close proximity to the existing resource. And then there's the regional opportunity on top of that. So the foundations are there to build a long life, low cost, high margin gold and copper producing business in Ravensthorpe.
Well, going back to the start, like 2021, and you said that you've been drilling since then, and what that's you've been able to produce then is the resource you've got. So, I mean, does that mean that a lot of drilling around that resource to try and broaden that out, or to really develop that?
Yeah, it's both. I think. What have we done? Almost 50 kilometres of new drilling around the known resources, and a third of that drilling's been diamond. That's also been important because we haven't had that level of diamond drilling in the database up until this point, and that's let us see the host rock, see the ore body in situ, and enable us to do some structural analysis. And that's led to a step change improvement in our understanding of what we think's controlling the ore body and the better parts of it. And so that's informing our targeting to both extend the known lodes and then look for potential new ones, because a lot of these structures are orthogonal to one another and they look like they'll intersect at depth or along strike. So we're targeting those areas as well. So there'll be drilling to infill the portions of the mine plan that have got inferred in them to get that up to indicated so that it converts to reserve when the final investment decision comes along, the definitive feasibility study. But we'll also do some of those more conceptual holes. So higher risk, but definitely potentially higher impact, in that we might just unlock something new at depth or down plunge at Cundit.
All right, Paul. Well, it sounds like I mean, as I said before, the duck on the water. It sounds like there's still plenty going on. There's still plenty of work being undertaken, which means there will be more news flow eventually coming out once you get the results of all this work. So we'll be keeping an eye out for all that. Is there anything else in the company's sites that we should know about?
What might flow from the PFS, I think, will be interesting in terms of the type of capital that we could access to keep funding the business towards that final investment decision. But that'll come after the PFS. But it's certainly a significant de-risking event for us. So keep your eyes open.
All right. Well, we always do, Paul. We always do. So it'll be good to hear all that. We look forward to catching up with you at the investment showcase on the Gold Coast next week. But until then, it's always great to see you. Thanks for dropping into the Roadhouse, and we'll see you soon.
Good on you, Wally. Thank you.